All right, guys, so we're gonna keep making this teapot. The bowls that I chose are a little bit deep, like this. I'm gonna have a foot on this. So my deep bowls are gonna make my teapot a little bit on the taller side. So the next thing I'm gonna make is a handle. So it might be good to figure out where my spout is gonna go to see what kind of handle I want. And a spout could be a lot of things. It could be a small one. If it's small, maybe it's up top like this. Maybe it comes out more. Maybe it comes up more. It's a small little guy. Maybe it's a big one. Maybe I'll go reverse that. Maybe I'm gonna have a spout. It kind of comes from the bottom. Be kind of big like that. So let's say it's going to be like that. And this is going to be my opening where my lid goes. So now, say my spout is... So now, if this is what my spout's going to look like, that feels good. It's kind of humongous, but that's okay. So this kind of helps me to see where my handle might go. Commonly, handles either go over the top or off the back. So if I have a spout, or if I have a handle that goes over the top, it's going to have to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of my lid here. So it might look something like this. If I have a handle on the back, let's use a different color. Might be something like that. And there can be variations of that for sure, but just kind of starting to get the idea of what I like. And I think I like the over the top handle better. So I think I'm gonna go with something like that. All right, so we're gonna make a handle here. I'm gonna make a handle by pulling the clay. And I'll show you what that's going to look like. But as we drew it out and figured out what we wanted this to look like, I'm going to have a handle that goes over the top of this. So I haven't cut out, and I haven't even figured out exactly how this is going to work. I'm just collecting my pieces. So I'm just going to get a handle strap pulled that can make that, and we can flex it and get it to fit correctly as we start assembling. So when I pull a handle like this, when I'm going to pull a strap, I'm going to start with a big chunk of clay. I want this handle to be thickest at both connection points here. I want it to be thicker here, and I want it to be thicker on the other side as well. So I want it to kind of thin out and get a little smaller in the middle and then be thicker. So as I'm rolling out this coil, I'm doing that right here. So I'm kind of pre-making this, getting this started so that it has a thick end on it, or either end. I'm getting this started so that both ends have a thickness to it, and it's thinnest in the middle. So now we're there. It's a little bit thinner in the middle, and I can start pulling this. So I want to keep this straight up and down, and I'm going to get this well lubricated with water. So I'm working right over the bucket when I do this. So I'm getting water all over it so that my hand can flow. I can see when I'm doing this, I can see there's some bumps in here. There's even some like rips happening. So as I'm initially starting this, I'm holding it on the back with my fingers, but I'm kind of digging my thumb in a little bit just to apply a little bit of pressure to some of those areas. So I can push in some of those cracks, some of these bumps on this side. I can kind of dig into those a little bit. My hand's drying out, so I'm adding some more water. So I'm just going really lightly though. I'm just very lightly flowing up and down the sides of this thing. This is nice to pull a handle, is a really nice way to do it because we're adding water to this. We're hydrating the clay while we're smoothing it out and stretching it. So it makes it really smooth and really flexible. So I can get a nice curve that I know is gonna fit over the top of this thing. And that's looking like it's stretched out a whole bunch. And it's getting to be about the thickness that I want. This is going to be longer than I need. I'm going to cut some off of this for sure, no doubt. And that's how we want it. We want to have a little bit of extra. Okay, so I think I have what I need here. So while this is hanging, we can get my board ready. I'm gonna grab the other end and I'm gonna get this into an arc shape and I'm gonna lay this on my board. When I'm laying this down, I'm thinking about roughly how big I think the width here is on my bowls. I'm guesstimating that it's about that width. I have a little bit of wiggle room when I do this to open this up. So I'm doing an over the top handle. If you were doing one on the side or however you were doing it, you know, this could go over the top of my teapot like that. But this could also be like a side handle that goes on the side of my teapot. Darn it. You know, so it could go on the side of the teapot like that. So same kind of, all these same principles apply. But I'm just kind of thinking about where this is gonna attach and trying to get it generally spaced, the two ends so that they're close to what I need for the lid to be able to fit in there. Knowing that I'm gonna chop this down, I'm gonna chop those and stuff. So there we have it. There's a pulled handle for our over the top teapot handle.